Hi, Libra Sun and Rising. Welcome to your February 2025 Astro Update. It's Reina here. So, I'm recording this in mid-January, so I just want to put it out there because I know that a lot of you, or at least some of you, will be listening in that time frame. And going into February, we have a new moon on January 29th in Aquarius. I believe it's 9 degrees of Aquarius. And this is a fellow air sign. As a matter of fact, there is air represented, not just with Aquarius. No, I shouldn't say all three signs, but both Aquarius and Gemini are represented in the transits in February. And in January, late January, which happens to be the in the lunar calendar, that is the New Year for the Chinese, but other people, who follow that calendar, they celebrate the New Year. They mark the New Year starting then. The wood snake, that's my combination, so I'm very excited. If you know anything about Chinese astrology, I know very little about it, but if you know what it means when you have that exact combination of not just your Chinese symbol, animal symbol, but the same element, like wood is earth, I think. I would be curious to know, is that like a good omen? I would imagine it would be. But anyway, so the Aquarius, like for instance, the Aquarius Sun and the Aquarius Mercury, both in Aquarius, the Sun and Mercury. That is for Libra, your fifth house, which is the house of Leo in astrology and deals with love and creativity. Right up your alley, right? So, with the Sun and Mercury there, you may be talking to somebody that you have romantic feelings for. And on the 4th of February, Jupiter goes direct at 11 degrees of Gemini, and that is in another air sign, but that's in the other direction. So that's in your ninth house of long distance travel, the higher mind and higher education, publishing, the God house. So Jupiter is direct in its own house. It rules Sagittarius, and that's the ninth house, the house of expansion. So have you been wanting to do something like travel long distance, and you have been kept from it, Libra, for the last few months? Well, this could be the time when that begins to change. And on the same day, Venus goes into your opposite sign of Aries. So that's in your seventh house of committed partnership. Wow. Isn't that something? And you rule the seventh house, and you're ruled by Venus. So Venus is your ruler. It goes into the house that you rule. That's pretty serendipitous, I would say. So this could be a time of great romantic experiences, declarations, something along the lines of, you're the one, I want to be with you forever. Now, is it possible that there are some Libra people who are completely deluded and they shouldn't be saying that to the other person because the other person's bad news? Of course. There's always that possibility. Just because you have a transit doesn't mean that it's something that you need to take to the nth degree or take to the final degree, because it might not be appropriate for you. But it still might be something that is on the docket for you. Venus in the seventh can be legal affairs, and Venus in the seventh can be winning money from a legal matter. On the 12th, we have a full moon at 24 degrees of Leo. This is falling in your 11th house, which is the house of the collective. Libra people tend to be social butterflies, and the 11th house is that one of the houses that really deals with your social life, your friends, the groups that you connect with, that you belong with. And the full moon here can, oh, well, the 11th house is also the house of gains. So, this could be very good for maybe getting more, like getting a raise, getting a bonus. So it could be good for money. On the 14th, Mercury goes into Pisces. For Libra individuals, this is a 6th house of work. This is the house that Virgo rules in astrology, so it deals with health, your work, which I call service to others, and your daily routine. So Mercury here could have you talking to an employer. It might be that you are thinking about your daily routine because you want to add something to it, and you don't know if you really have the time for this thing. And so you're crunching the numbers. You know what I mean. Trying to see if it fits into the grand scheme of things. And it also has your mind in a very practical place. This is an earth house, and it's also, I said it's a house of health, so you might be, especially like diet, because Virgo rules it in astrology. I feel like it's a natural diet, and you may be reading books on nutrition and things like that. On the 18th, the sun goes here, and you're really embodying this work ethic and this, getting down to brass tacks energy. On the 23rd or 24th, depending on where you live, Mars is going direct at 17 degrees of Cancer, fellow cardinal sign, so it is squaring you off, but it's coming from the 10th house of career. This can be where you get your mojo back career-wise, ambition-wise. Mars can be ambition, and you have had it maybe come to a grinding halt since you've had this Mars retrograde. Mars first went retrograde in Leo in that 11th house where you're having that full moon. So there might be some connection there in terms of what you have learned about that, because Mars will eventually go back into Leo, and you may be pursuing things that can set you up so that you can receive maybe even passive income through your career, ways that you don't directly have to, it's not directly connected with how many hours you work, because it's more passive than that. That's just an example. Actually, Mars in the 11th house would be more like active income, I would say, because it's so energetic, aggressive. But I do feel that it's just a matter of putting things into motion. So you got Mars going direct in your 10th house of career, and this can, you're going to have Jupiter in this sector in a few months, and that's going to be very high power for you. It's almost like Mars is laying the groundwork for that by doing some of the necessary, what we would call grunt work, the stuff that people do, because that's sometimes you just need to roll up your sleeves and get down to work. But it still is something that can pay off in the long term. Watch out for people in a position of authority, because now that Mars is direct, you may feel more confident and bold in kind of defying them. It's not in Libra's nature to do this, but there may be extenuating circumstances. Maybe they're the one that is causing the friction, and you're fed up and you don't want to take anymore. Well, be careful, because you don't want to overreact. And Mars has a tendency to be very aggressive and perhaps overreact. On the 27th, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces. Again, that is your 6th house of work. You might be getting a new job. You might be changing your schedule up, like completely changing your schedule. You used to work in the morning, now you work in the afternoon. You used to be working from home, now you're going to have to go into the office, these kinds of things. And you already have Neptune and Saturn in this sector. So you could call it the best of both worlds. You have like the idealism of Neptune, but the pragmatism of Saturn and the discipline of Saturn. This could be a new health regimen. Maybe you've been reading up on it and now you're implementing it. Okay, this is what I have for you, Libra. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please click on the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.